Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wake Up with Toastmasters. My name is Jean Williams. I'm your Program Quality Director for District 115, which is Southern Nevada and a little piece of Utah. And this is my co-host, Jean Denford. Hi, Jean.
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing?
I think we're well. It's Friday.
Friday. That means only 2 more days of the work week.
Only for the self-employed people. Well, welcome, everybody. I thought today we would talk about, one important announcement first. Tomorrow is Division A and B's contest. It's our first division level contest. These are the people who won at the club level, the area level, and now they're competing at the division level. So tomorrow is A and B. The contest will start at 9 a.m. at the Palo Verde High School. So you should be able to find that. Look for balloons, look for banners, and you'll see us. So come to that. Even if you're not a Toastmaster, you're welcome to attend, learn a little bit about Toastmasters, ask anyone questions, and certainly see some great contestants compete in an evaluation contest and the international speech contest. So come to that if you're in the area. So it'll be tomorrow, and then the rest of the announcements we make as announcements on Monday. So look for Monday to mark your calendar on Monday. But I wanted to let you know that one because that one is tomorrow. Then so today I thought, I always try to think of something interesting to talk about. So today I thought we would talk, you've heard us mention pathways, but I thought we would talk about something more fundamental, and that is what to expect once you join a club as far as your education goes. So the first thing you'll find when you attend a meeting is, you bumped your space button there. The first thing you'll find when you join a Toastmaster meeting is you'll see people asking questions and of course wanting to help you. Every guest we've ever had has used the word support. So you'll obviously feel that from the very beginning. But when you decide to join, usually what will happen is you'll be assigned a mentor, and that's someone who's just going to help you through the first few speeches. You'll also, of course, have the Vice President of Education who's going to help you and let you know how to schedule your speeches, because it's self-paced. So you'll find out how to schedule your speeches, how to pick when you want to do other roles that'll help you learn as well. And so you'll have that. We also have for the district, and this is of course for all new members of all clubs, to supplement what your club is doing, we have a new member orientation at enrichment night every month. So look for that as well. And that helps you with what the roles are, how they're filled, the things you may miss in your meeting because you may have just joined and they may not have your mentor assigned to you quite yet. So we have that every month. But once you get kind of your feet on the ground as far as those three things, then you start planning what you want to learn. And your first speech you're going to plan is your icebreaker. But even before that happens, you're going to be put into other roles. You probably notice when you visit a club, maybe they've asked you to do table topics. Maybe you've even been invited to be a grammarian or an awe counter or something like that. But after you're a member, then you're going to be expected to fill different roles. Perhaps, you don't get to turn down table topics, and you're going to answer that unless something's just tragic and you don't want to. But you're going to probably be asked to be a grammarian, pick a word of the day, and listen for people using it, be an awe counter, listen for filler words, and your listening roles are engaged right away. And you don't even notice that that's happening. But those are the roles you're usually put in right away, are the ones where you're listening and paying attention. And that, of course, is improving your listening skills, of course, which again, if you're looking at the Toastmasters, for example, will help you with job interviews. Obviously, listening and understanding what's going on is the key to having a good interview, or even being a great public speaker, or even a great conversationalist. You want to be able to listen. So those kind of lessons sneak up on you, the listening ones. And then, of course, you're improving your vocabulary with the grammarian. All those things you're improving. And then table topics, of course, is your impromptu speaking. So at some point, the Vice President of Education will come to you and say, okay, now I think it's time you should probably do your icebreaker. Excuse me. And that's a 4 to 6 minute speech, not 46. I got to make sure I don't slur that. 4 to 6 minute speech about you. And of course, about you. So that's an interesting topic and an easy topic. I say that in joking because one of our members said he knew the other speeches were all 5 to 7 minutes, but he couldn't understand why the icebreaker was 46 minutes. And he kept saying, can I just skip the icebreaker and tell I'm a much better speaker? And they couldn't figure out until they realized it was a little bit of a language gap and them slurring it together, but it's not, it's 4 to 6 minutes. So that's your icebreaker. But it doesn't have to be, and this is the trap I too fell into. So many new people. How do I jam everything about my life that I want people to know in 4 to 6 minutes? And I was rearranging it and rearranging it and rearranging it. And it finally, I had to just talk about like my, a blip on my childhood and my adulthood. And then I found out later, after I fell into that same trap, it can be anything about you. It could just be as simple as why I picked my new car, or how I got my first bicycle, or my first job, applying for my first job in my first job interview. It can be just a little simple part of a bigger, because we're going to learn about you as we go along. And there's always a chance to give more speeches about yourself. This is not the only time you're going to talk about yourself. So it's a real simple speech. It's just really getting you in front of the audience and seeing how you can organize a speech. Does it have an introduction? Does it have a body? Does it have a conclusion? Is there something climactic about it? Is it interesting? And then giving you feedback to help you improve. I thought you did a fabulous job of organizing your speech. You just dropped off at the end. You didn't give us a conclusion. Things like that. So that's your first speech or icebreaker. Then, of course, there's many speeches to follow. But as you go through pathways, you'll find there's one on researching your topic. It can be any topic you choose. All of these are any topic you choose, which makes it a little more challenging. Because if you had to give a speech about the president, you're more limited. But this is a speech about anything you want to give it on, which makes it more challenging because you have to find something that you find interesting that you think other people will find interesting as well. And also not drown people with facts, but not gloss over things they should know or you should tell them. Some people talk about their careers. If they're selling, if they are in sales, they'll practice a sales pitch, for example. Anything goes. But you'll talk about researching your topic. There will be another topic of getting feedback, using that feedback and improving your speech. So you might give the same speech twice with using that feedback. Then after you finish your level 1 and this path, it's called pathways, you'll go through a computer system to use it. After you finish your level 1, on to level 2, 3, 4, and 5. And all through those levels, there's a couple required speeches, just 1 or 2, but the majority of them are electives. And there's electives such as leading a team or working with a team. There's a elective about doing a podcast. There's an elective about body language and vocal variety. There's electives about, what are some of the electives that you use, Jean? What are some of the ones you like?
I like the humor path. Do you remember the humor path?
But which electives did you like?
Oh, the electives. I think I did them all, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've done that. I've worked on several paths. I've done the education. I've done leadership and several. I don't know why I joined so many paths. I've got so many speeches out there that I don't even remember what I'm working on today.
Well, you were no help, but some of the electives are what's your communication style. Talk about different communication styles. Another one's about that's a required speech. Another one's about different leadership styles. But back to the electives, and you get to choose any of the electives you want, which makes it even more challenging because then sometimes you'll look and there's 5 of them you want to do, and other times you're thinking, maybe that one. But you can always do more than the required electives. See, now you unmuted. You don't have a problem. We're going to get them straightened out one way or another. but yeah, so you'll pick different electives, and they're different, and there's mostly the same in the past, but there's some that are different. But if you're picking using body language in the engaging humor path, then you're challenged to make it humorous. If you're using it in the presentation mastery, maybe more memorable. There's a elective about storytelling. There's so many electives, and I think they add some each time they revamp it, so that's even better. But you work through the required speeches and electives until you finish all the paths, and that's probably about 25 speeches, I think, or presentations. It adds up. So there's that. And then one of the things along the way is your distinguished Toastmaster project or your high performance and your high performance leadership project. Not all the paths have a high performance leadership project, but once you complete 2 paths, you do have a distinguished Toastmaster project. And that's more complex because there you're working with committees to do a big project. Okay. Okay. So then once you do that though, you do have your distinguished Toastmaster project. So usually someone will do a contest, for example, a area contest. Maybe you want to organize the area contest for one of the area directors, or maybe you are an area director, because being a district leader is a requirement to become a distinguished Toastmaster, which is your diploma of sorts in Toastmasters. That's what you're aiming for, is to become a distinguished Toastmaster. So the 2 paths, then you usually have your high performance leadership project. Then you'll have your year as a district leader, which again, most people pick area director, and then they do their contest because that's a lot of moving parts and a lot of organization. And then there's a couple other little things in there, like helping either charter a club, or you'll either mentor or sponsor a club in there, do a speech craft or a youth leadership project. And those are all things, as you finish your second path, you start looking toward all of those things. And then there you go. Then you have your distinguished Toastmaster. It takes most people, because it's self-paced, most people take about 2 years to get to the distinguished Toastmaster. Some people just zip right through and that's all they work on, and they may finish it within about 1.5 years, because you have to have that year of district leadership. That holds back some people that are just really just zipping right through it. Other people just go through and take their time. Some people take 5, 10 years or more. It really depends on why you joined Toastmasters and are you getting out of it everything you want. Some people are going through and working every elective, or just all the ones that seem fun to them. You're in as much of a hurry as you wish to be, which is really nice. If you want to just jet right through and get your distinguished Toastmaster, then good, but don't burn yourself out. Or if you want to just take your time, or maybe some people get the distinguished Toastmaster and they continue doing other things and just take their time then. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just kind of taking my time going through pathways because I've already received my distinguished Toastmaster.
I think for me, when I first started doing it the very first time, I wanted to try all of the paths, all of the electives, and do as much learning. So instead of zipping through all of the educational material, which I like the pathways videos and all of that's on the program for education. But you also want to give their speeches and everything like that in a timely manner. So I've worked on several paths doing different projects, but I have tried to focus on the education part of it rather than on the speaking part of it, because I've wanted to make sure that I got all of the information out of the videos and all of the written material. Before, when we just had the manuals, there was like 3 pages of script that was written about what you were supposed to be doing. And now you've got videos, you've got all kinds of material that you can get and access through Pathways that gives you an education of what that project is. So I like the Pathways presentation better. And of course it's online. We're doing a lot of new things with computers and Toastmasters. One of the things is members are going to be able to pay their own dues now. So that is awesome too. When we have it to where we have a handheld device, your phone, and you can access all the paths and access all of the speeches, and do everything on your phone. And then if you have an evaluation for someone, you click the evaluate button and you give them an evaluation and it goes right to their phone. That will be perfect.
They are changing it over to be an app, but I'm not sure how advanced that's going to be. So yeah, that'll be good. So I don't know what the app will look like, but that's one of the reasons some of our computer systems are down right this minute. So if you're trying to order that really cool Toastmasters shirt, you can't do it right this minute because they have everything down to add in the dues feature and also add in the app. And so I don't know what the app's going to look like, but we'll see. But right now it is. Gene says like there are a lot of things in the computer system that I think people want to skip over because you want to go through and you want to get your lessons done so quickly, and you don't want to maybe watch a film about how a good evaluation's done. But I urge you, if you can, take the time and just go back through if you're going back, or do it the first time and just go ahead and watch the movie. Maybe there's something there that's interesting. There were times I thought, oh, I don't really want to watch this, and and they were okay. Other times, just really great videos, really great features. And the electives, there's a lot of thought into the different electives. I looked at how to do I think it was a blog, and at the time was when that rolled out before the pandemic began. Pathways did. So the first time I looked at that, I'm sorry, I'm one of those computer not inept, but computer struggling people. And I thought, blog, what is a blog? And I kept asking, what is a blog? I know it's, asked my son, who's a teenager, who said, I can't believe you don't understand what a blog is. And he walked away. So still didn't understand what a blog was. Then after the pandemic happened, I realized that in a sense, this is a video blog. And so we talked about Wake Up with Toastmasters, and that counted toward that elective. So there's so many things to learn with Pathways, and it's as informative or as quick as you want it to be. But if you go through and you pick all the quick options the first time so that you can get your distinguished Toastmaster, when you do 2 new paths, I urge you to really take your time and enjoy them, and just really learn the things you join Toastmasters to learn. If you join Toastmasters to be a better speaker, then look at all the electives, watch all the movies, watch all the films, and then pick the elective you want, or do more than is required. Same thing, if you join for that great job interview, or to be more forceful when you speak, or to be more organized when you speak, there's elective for everything, and you can pick those that'll help you the most. There's so many things in there, though. I think so. Computer ineptness. I'll tell you my fun story real quick, because you got to have something to laugh at today. So I had ordered my first path, and I picked presentation mastery, and then I was going to pick engaging humor. So, and I told you, I have told this before, but if there's a computer between me and anybody, they're ultimately going to say, "Oh, that's weird. I've never seen that happen before." Even at the register in a store, there's going to be the clerk who looks and says, "Oh, that's weird. I've never seen that error code." It always starts with "that's weird." So of course, my "that's weird" moment happened with Toastmasters. I ordered my second path. I ordered engaging humor, and I pressed the select button, and nothing happened. Nothing. It just sat there. I thought, well, I must have missed an answer to a question. So you go back, answer everything, pick the button. It just sat there gray. I thought, well, heck, that didn't work at all. Well, I guess I'll have to just ask somebody else for help later on. And about that time, an email pops in: "Congratulations, you bought engaging humor. Congratulations, you bought engaging humor." So I got 2 engaging humor. Bless, I don't need 2. So then I called Toastmasters, and this was right at the beginning of the pandemic. So we were only on a chat feature. They weren't back at their phone site yet. They did have a chat feature set up so you could chat with people. So I'm chatting, and I guess I didn't make it clear that I wanted the engaging humor. So I said, "Well, I've got 2 of these." She said, "Oh, congratulations." No, I don't need 2. I need 1. And so we switched. I said, "Well, do anything about leadership?" Because I had not looked at any of the other paths. I really just wanted that engaging humor. And that way I would have 2. She says, "Well, we do have dynamic leadership and leadership development." And I thought, I said, well, okay. So she talked about how they're different and which one's which and all of that. And I said, well, I'll take the magical leadership one. She was dynamic. I said, okay, dynamic leadership. I'll take dynamic leadership. And then I said, kind of offhandedly, I think that'd be cool to get the leadership development later. And I thought she heard me say later, but evidently, maybe I didn't type later as clearly as the other letters were typed. I don't know. And then I get an email saying, after the call's over, the chat calls over, I get a message saying, you changed your engaging humor to leadership development. And right behind it, you changed your engaging humor to dynamic leadership. So now I have both leadership paths and presentation mastery, and I still don't have engaging humor. So that, well, I really do want engaging humor because I was going to be giving a few humorous speeches coming up. So now I have 4 paths. There you go. But again, you use 2 for a distinguished Toastmaster and 2 more for another distinguished Toastmaster. So I'm all set for at least the next 5 years with plenty of paths.
Talking about engaging humor, I wish one of the electives was to go do an open mic night. Wouldn't that be fun?
I think it would be challenging, that's for sure. And I think there's so many possibilities. I'm hoping some of the revamping they're doing with the app and with Pathways as they revise it is to keep getting more things that are specific. For example, with presentation mastery, I think one of them, because this is the people who typically would pick that, are the ones who want to be public speakers or presenters at their companies or something. I think a demonstration speech should be part of that. That should be one of the electives, is to do a demonstration speech or something where you have the 2 cameras and you're showing what you're working on and you're showing you and you're working with the different, the different sound systems and all that. That I think would be a really fantastic elective for that path. There's some of the other paths, and then the
Yeah, that would be similar to what they do Toastmasters in the kitchen with the 2 cameras and the presentation on what they're doing. I had to stop going there. I was buying too many kitchen gadgets.
you get a group of foodies together. Okay, Toastmasters in the Kitchen was actually featured in the Toastmaster magazine, which is really cool. And they do the demonstration speeches, very challenging. And they also, though, people will, maybe one of their speeches will be like, one lady talked about the Instapot. So her speech was about an Instapot, what it is, how to use it. So now we own an Instapot. Another person, I forget what it was, and now we own an air fryer, and now we own an air fryer. There's so many things.
Not,
Yeah, it was getting up there.
not only the Instapot, but all the little gadgets that go with the Instapot, the little mitt and the little spoon, the little fork, and all the tongs. And I think I've got 3 sets of those in a box somewhere.
Well, it was easy to buy gifts for you that year, but yeah, that's a really fun meeting if you want to go to that. So but they do the demonstration speeches, but that's where, if that were that to me should be an elective, would be a demonstration speech, or a sales pitch should be that one of the electives, because some people join to be better at selling in their company, and there should be one. Give us a sales pitch or sell a product. And so there's so many electives, but they didn't ask me yet. But hopefully they'll ask me one day.
One of the electives could be to go to Sam's Club and hand out samples. That'd be a fun elective, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he jokes with me because when I was a small child, I was probably 5. My career goal was to be the lady who gave out the sample lady, the lady who gave out samples in the grocery store. And I remember telling my parents, I was probably 5 or 6, and I remember, I'm going to grow up and be the sample lady so I can give out samples and help people mix things up and make things that are really fun to eat. And my parents told me that wasn't really a career goal. I said, but it is. I can be a good sample lady. And they said, you can be a good sample lady after you finish college. And so I still had my hopes up. I thought, okay, so college degree is required to be a sample lady. And then I was just devastated when I got to be about 7 or 8 and found out that I saw somebody's mother and they're giving out samples. And because I'd got off early from school to go to the dentist or something, and there was somebody's mom giving out samples. Oh. So I was devastated. So if you have a career you didn't get to have because you found out it wasn't even a career, tell me in the chat so I don't feel alone. But no, so that, yeah, that's being a sample, professional sample lady. But now I'm retired, maybe I'll be
You
one.
you tickled Carol's funny bone. Carol said that's a great childhood goal.
Well, because they're always so happy, Carol. They're happy. They give you a little cup. Oh, and I put green peas and pasta together to make this. Taste that. There's just, but yeah, so maybe I'll do it now that I'm retired. I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. There you go. Everybody has a career path, and Toastmasters will help you in your career. See, if I had known, I could have been a Toastmaster first and then even better at giving out samples. But Toastmasters will help you whatever your career goal. And it really does, because the electives help you pick the things. Before Jean mentioned the manuals, there might be a manual about interpretive reading, and the 5 projects in that book were about interpretive reading, which is fun. I love those projects. It was great. One was special occasion speeches, such as a eulogy, an acceptance speech, a toast, things like that, and that was helpful also. But as far as really picking exact electives to help me in my career goal or my social goal or being a better Toastmaster, now I like that all the electives can just really be custom made into what you want. And for those who are still digging your heels in that the legacy method was the best ever, I have to let you know, legacy method was not the first method or the second method or the third or probably even the 5th. It was somewhere in there. If you look at the one before what you guys are calling the legacy program, you will be stunned at how many things were required to be a Toastmaster, a distinguished Toastmaster back then. And that was back when less than 1% of people who started actually became distinguished Toastmasters.
I think it was 15 speeches, wasn't it, instead of 10?
Oh, it was 15 per, yeah, it was 15 per manual. And then there were other things like give a speech to at least 50 people outside of Toastmasters, sponsor 5 new members within a year of applying for Distinguished Toastmaster. I mean, on and on and on and on and on. It was daunting, to say the least. And the people who became Distinguished Toastmasters, that was why so few people became them. So they changed it for legacy, made it easier to become a Distinguished Toastmaster. Not simple, but easier. So you legacy folks that are just complaining a lot, or not complaining, but unhappy. Also, if you look at the electives, they're pretty much almost all there from all the advanced manuals. They're just all moved around. So they're there. It's just on the computer. And if you have a great vice president of education in your club, they will help you. So don't be hesitant to use pathways. There's a lot of things in there. It's got a lot of greatness in it. Just calm down and enjoy it. I was one of you too. But with that, we're really close to our time. Anything great in Facebook?
Just our lovely followers, Carol Wyman and Jennifer, and I don't know who else is on there because nobody else is talking to us. But Carol's been great with supporting us. She said she was glad karaoke was not one of the elective projects.
Luckily, it would be an elective. But so Carol Wayman is our president of Lambda Linguists, and they meet first and third Mondays. I think she's probably correcting me right now if I'm wrong, but first and third Mondays, Lambda Linguists. I'm still online, so look for that. It's LAMB BDA. Oh
Well,
gosh.
I got a new follower on here, Paul Mahoney. Paul, welcome to Wake Up
Hey,
with
Paul.
Toastmasters.
I think I've met Paul before. Hi, Paul. So yeah, welcome everybody. You're coming in at the very end. So that we talked about pathways, getting your distinguished Toastmaster, being a district leader. We mentioned that that's one of the requirements to become a distinguished Toastmaster. Not too late to put in your paperwork for area director for the year starting July 1st. So don't forget that. You still have a chance to be an area director. And if you've been an area director before, and it's one of those jobs that you finish it and then you go, oh, now I know how to do it. So if you were like me and the last month of the job, you finally understood how to do it and you want to be an area director again, look, you can do that job twice. So look for that.
We have confirmation, Lambda Linguist, first and third Monday, 6 p.m. from Carol.
Okay, thank you, thank you. But that is a fun club, is if you want to go visit that one, and that'll be Monday. Don't forget, tomorrow is the contest. Oh, lots of fun stuff.
She also put the link for the meeting on our page. So if you want to
Oh,
click
wonderful.
click the link, go to Lambda Linguist to find out about the club. There you go.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, thank you very much, Carol. And so with that, it's Friday. Have a wonderful Friday, and we will see you Monday morning. Mark your calendar Monday, so don't forget to bring your calendar. We'll go over announcements. We'll talk about the last few speech contests, the conference. We'll have more of a breakdown of what's going on for that. So many fun things. And that'll all be on Monday morning, 6 a.m. on Wake Up with Toastmasters. Thank you.